Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to try to cover as many Pokemon games in one video rather than make super long videos for each one. So in this video I have footage for the Pokemon Sword and Shield, which since everybody else, the big boys, are covering Scarlet and Violet, literally everybody has covered that game because it's the only one that got an official upgrade. So I was curious if the other ones did, like unofficially, right? I wanted to see if the Switch 2's emulation just forced them to look better. And they do look better in some spots. I feel like they play the same, but during actual fights, they actually look a lot better. So I didn't have time to get through every Pokemon game today because I ran out of time, but I got through Diamond and Pearl and Arceus, Sword and Shield. I had to think there for a minute because there's so many Pokemon games on the Switch. So keep an eye on the channel. I'll get through Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu Let's Go. I haven't checked that yet. I do want to check out Pokemon Snap. I haven't checked that out yet. And the Pokken Tournament. I was going through my games. I'm like, holy crap. I have like almost every single Pokemon game on here. So I haven't checked this one out either. So we'll check that out on the channel later too. All right. So first up in the video, we're going to start with Sword and Shield. So when you're out in the world and exploring and stuff like that, I feel like it's so hard to tell because it's been so long since I've played it. But during fights, during like raid battles, the Pokemon look way cleaner. There's not so many jagged edges. They look way sharper. The combat animations look really good, like using Thunder or Hydro Pump or whatever move you can think of. The animations look a lot sharper and a lot crisper. When you're exploring the world, there's still a little pixel-iness and waviness to it. I felt like there was no lag or slowdown or anything like that. It felt like it ran at a pretty solid 30 FPS. Correct me in the comments down below. Like I said, I don't have equipment to test that, but it did feel a lot better. Since I hadn't played it for so long, it took, I want to say, 4 to 5 minutes to connect to a server to play online with other people. But I'm happy to report that it works fine once it did that. I think it's because I hadn't played it for so long. It was kind of updating it as I was playing. So yeah, I sat there on the menu while trying to connect to the internet for 5 minutes. I'll leave that out of the video because it's just literally dead air for 5 minutes. But yeah, overall Sword and Shield plays just fine on the Nintendo Switch 2, but it did not get an upgrade like Scarlet and Violet, sadly. Now on to Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl looked exactly the same. It felt like lock 30 FPS. I know there was some screen tearing when that game came out, and all of these games had an update when I went to play them on the Switch 2. I'm guessing that's just a compatibility thing, or maybe the game had an update since I last played it, but it's been a long time since I played Diamond and Pearl. I really liked it when it came out because it kind of reminded me of the old school way, but then it had none of the quality of life features that the old games had. So you still literally had to have a Pokemon for, surf, waterfall, fly, dig, rock climb. It still had to do all those animations, whereas in Scarlet and Violet, which where we got really spoiled as far as like traversal is concerned, where one Pokemon could literally fly, well not fly, but glide. You can fly from town to town. I'm talking about like actual flying throughout the air, kind of like in POW World with a flying POW, or Arc with a flying pterodactyl. You know what I'm saying. But you can climb on anything and everything like that, and there's no like so-and-so used climb, so-and-so used strength, so-and-so used surf. They got rid of that, and thank goodness, because I remember playing that in the old games. You had to like save a move spot for each Pokemon or each one of the moves. So you had to have HM, cut, surf, and back then you couldn't remove it. You couldn't make them forget it. It took a couple games before they got to the point where you can remove it. And I like, that was so dumb. I don't know why they made that decision. So sometimes I would, back in the old Game Boy games, Red and Blue, I would cheat and I'd have like 2 Mews or Mewtwo's with like all the moves. Just those 2 on my party if I was exploring, and then I'd have my battling Pokemon, which I always thought that was kind of fun. So yeah, Diamond and Pearl looks the same. Looks like it's a solid 30 FPS, but overall it did not get much love with the Switch 2. Now, on to Arceus. I feel like Arceus loads a little faster when you go from spot to spot. It didn't really take that long to load in the normal Switch version. Sadly, the visuals look the same. There's jagged edges on all the characters in the world and everything, so it did not get a visual upgrade. I was hoping it would force like a force upgrade. I feel like Arceus is a unique enough game to where they should go back and patch that game quite a bit, because like I said, it's its own thing. Like, it's not like a mainline one. People aren't going to not play the new one because of this one. It's literally its own unique thing. And if you haven't played Arceus, it's the game that really tried to move the franchise forward for the first time in like, what, 25, 30 years, however long Pokemon's been around. So it was a very, very important game. And as far as I know, it sold really, really well. And it was the precursor to Scarlet and Violet. However, Scarlet and Violet kind of went backwards a little bit because I think they were scared that they would destroy the entire like fandom if they went too far into left field. So they kept the battling system and all that kind of stuff, unlike in Arceus. Arceus was totally different. The boss fights were really cool, the way they did it. I don't know, I just really liked the way they did Arceus. It was refreshing, being a lifelong Pokemon fan since it originally started. So Pokemon ZA looks different enough. I really like the way the combat looks, but as far as like exploring the world and capturing Pokemon, I think that's going to be lackluster in ZA, so we'll have to wait and see on that. So yeah, those 3 games are the ones that I will include in this video. Keep an eye on the channel for other Pokemon games, and I'm going to try to do more games in one video rather than just have an entire video dedicated to one game, because after about the first 2 minutes is where you guys fall off, because once you've seen what you've want to see, you're on to the next thing. And I don't blame you. I mean, I would do the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's how it looks, that's how it runs, we're good to go. So yeah, the next videos for tomorrow, because I ran out of time today. I was trying to make videos for my other 2 channels. I got too many channels going and a full-time job. Anyway, so tomorrow, if you want to see what Pokken Tournament looks like, Pokemon Snap, Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, that's the next video for the channel. So stick around on the channel, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. We've gotten almost 100 subscribers since I started this channel like a month ago, and they've all been in the last week since the launch of the system. So I'm having a blast. I love playing all these games. I love the Nintendo Switch 2. I can't wait for this generation to really take off. I can't wait to see what this generation holds, because the original Switch, despite its lack of power and capabilities, was probably one of the most fun systems I ever had. It was just so unique. I had a lot of fun with the games. Sadly, and I'm not taking a shot at PlayStation or Xbox, but I want to say the Switch just had, to me, this is a personal thing, the games were more fun. Despite the visuals and performance of a lot of them, to me, Nintendo is masters at making fun games. And that's why I was so excited. And that's why I started this whole channel. They don't have the prettiest games or the best performing games as far as functionality and stuff like that, but they usually have the most fun. And that's, again, that's a subjective thing. But to me, since the NES days, Nintendo always has super fun games. As always, sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay frosty.